Hi, so I hope you enjoyed that video of a TED Talk. Tim Brown is a pretty interesting person to listen to, and his words really speak volumes today, especially when we're sort of rethinking our technologies and the systems that have been designed previously that are kind of part of our everyday life. And as you know, a lot of what's happening in the world right now, a lot of systems have been critiqued, which is kind of a good thing. I think it's time for a little bit of a change. Um, anyway, so where you are in your project, you have now made it through your first round of design thinking, through all of those different steps and phases. It's been a very condensed class. So really, you've gotten just mostly an overview into the various phases and steps, and to some of the different mediums of design as well. Um, so I encourage you all to reflect on really what you've learned, and if you wish to continue your project, you need to sort of reflect, refine, revisit, and then implement as well. And if you're stuck within those kind of walls and don't really know what to do next, uh, reflection is absolutely key. So I've come up with some questions here. If you're stuck and you don't really know what to ask yourself, that can really kind of guide your way. So the first thing is, what do you think of the overall design, and what changes could you make? So this is really important in terms of just the overall aspect of everything and the overview of the design and the concept itself. And it'll really take you back to sort of like what problems are you trying to solve, right? The second one is, are you happy with the materials you chose? Would you make adjustments next time? So this is really focused on some of the specific details that probably came about when you were prototyping. Did the project take too long to complete? And why was that? Um, Often our first time doing things, we don't really know a lot about it. And as time progresses and we try it multiple times, things get quicker. And that can happen when we sort of reflect on why or we learn. People learn by doing things. So really sort of figure out if this is the case, why that happened. And this question here is more so in the realm of product design, but can also be reflected in communication design in terms of like the information and the way that everything is laid out. And it um, is your design solution safe or accessible? And if not, how could it be made safer and more accessible? Another one here is the solution the right size and shape? And this goes into the ergonomics and once again rethinking some of those details. Another one is what are the views of other people regarding your design? So once again, going back to empathy and understanding how people interact with your design. This would probably become apparent in sort of the testing phases once you put your design in front of real users to see uh, how they interact with it. And then the last one here is, does it work? What changes would be required to make it work if not? And this goes into, once again, the details into the prototyping stage. Um, so yeah, those would be some of the questions I would suggest asking yourself. Some of the questions may not necessarily apply to you project, but if you continue to work through your design project and through the design thinking method, really revisit some of these questions as they can help out and aid in sparking reflection in some of the right directions. And really, in conclusion, essentially what you've been exposed to throughout the course is the process of design and design thinking. And you've really had the opportunity to experiment with a hands-on experience to design something of your choice. And some of the many complicated steps that it would take to design something. And I hope everyone learned a few things, and thank you very much for participating in the class. Now we're going on to the group discussion.